Have you ever thought you knew the answer to a question and then found out that actually you were wrong? Or maybe you knew part of the answer to the question, but you found out that there was even more to learn. Sometimes when that happens, we can feel really embarrassed. Or maybe we're quite glad because we've had the opportunity to learn the truth. It's always good to ask questions, because when we do, we can always be learning. And that's what was happening in today's story. The people in the crowd were listening to Jesus as he taught them all about what his kingdom is like. And in the crowd, there was a man, and he loved God's book. It was called the Law, and he studied it and he taught it to the people, so he really knew what it said. But he stood up in the crowd because he had a question for Jesus. He wanted to know, did Jesus really know what the law said? And he asked Jesus this question: Teacher, what must I do to live eternally, forever? What he was asking was, how can I know that I'm going to heaven? That's a really good question, isn't it? Because heaven is God's kingdom. It's where God is. And his book is where we read about how to go there. Surely Jesus would know if he was a good teacher. Jesus said to the man, well, you know the law. What does it say in the book? And the man did know, and he said, it says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. That's a lot of love. And, he went on, love your neighbour as yourself. Jesus said, that's right. Well done. That's what you need to do. The man wasn't finished. He had another question. Jesus, who is my neighbour? Now you may think, well, if I live in this house, then my neighbour is the person who lives next door, isn't it? Is that who I'm supposed to love? Well, that's not, of course, what the Bible means by neighbour. And so to help the people and the teacher of the law understand, Jesus told them one of his stories. He said, there was a man who went on a journey from Jerusalem to Jericho. It was a steep, rocky path, and it was a dangerous road. When all of a sudden, from the side of the road, some men came and they attacked the man, and they tore his clothes and they left him almost dead at the side of the road. What a terrible thing to happen. Sometime later, a man was coming along the road. He was a priest, someone who worked in the temple, in the church. Oh, good. Surely he will come to help. As the priest came near, he saw the man and he walked to the other side of the road and left the man without helping him. That's not very good. Why would he not help the man? Maybe he thought he was too busy. Maybe he thought, well, that's not my job. Somebody else can come to help the man. That's very sad. Sometime later, another man was coming along the road. Oh, great! Maybe this man will help. This man was a Levite. The Levites were the people who helped the priests in the temple, in the church. Maybe he'll help. They would sometimes play their musical instruments for the church, or they would stand guard at the door and help. The Levite came along the road and he saw the man. Was he going to help? Well, he crossed the road and he walked on past the man. That's not very good. Why would he not help the poor man? Did he think, I don't really know how I can help. I don't know what I can do. That's very sad. Sometime later, another man came along the road. We realised that, well, he's a Samaritan. And Samaritans, well, they don't like the Jews, like the man who was lying at the side of the road. Maybe he won't help. And as he sees the man, he feels sorry for the man. And he goes over and he helps the man. He bandages his wounds and he puts him on his donkey and he takes him to a place, an inn or a hotel where he can look after him. And all night long, he looks after the man. He went to the innkeeper and out of his own money, he paid the innkeeper to look after the man. And he said, I will come back, and if it's cost any more than the money I have given you, I'll pay that too. Who do you think was a neighbour to the man who had been attacked? Was it the priest? Or the Levite? Or the Samaritan? What do you think? The man who helped the Samaritan, because the Jews really didn't like the Samaritans. And once again we see that even though he had asked a really good question, Jesus could see his heart, and he knew that the man didn't have the full answer to the question. Maybe he was nice and kind to some people, but not to everyone. And Jesus was teaching that in his kingdom, kindness and love. Well, when we think about Jesus and how he loved us so much that he would die on a cross for us as our example, well, that will help us. Sometimes it's really obvious the way we can help people. Maybe we have something that they could use. Or maybe we have a gift or a talent that we can use to help them. Maybe it's less obvious. Maybe we need to look carefully. What ways can you be kind and love other people? You're going to think about that in your craft, just as the Samaritan man had a little bag of money and paid so that the poor sick man would be looked after. You're going to have ways in your little bag to help others. I'm sure you'll have lots of fun this week, showing kindness to others. And remember how much kindness God shows us in the good things he gives us every day. We'll see you again soon.